A psychological series is any series that emphasizes the emotional states of its characters. Internal monologues are a key feature because they allow the viewer to dive into the characters' minds and motivations. The first series I'm going to mention is Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica, or Puella Magi Madoka Magica. Madoka Kaname and Sayaka Miki are two ordinary middle school students, that is until they meet Kyubei, a magical creature who offers to make a contract with them. By accepting the contract and becoming a magical girl, they are granted any wish they desire. In return, they are required to fight witches. Now, watching the trailer, you might be thinking, this is girly as hell, and how is this a psychological anime? Unfortunately, if I answer that question, it would destroy the whole plot of the series. Needless to say, this series isn't what it appears to be on the surface. Madoka is 12 episodes long and available on Crunchyroll, Netflix, and Hulu. This next series has one important thing in common with Madoka Magica, or I should say one person, Gen Urobuchi. He was the scriptwriter of both Madoka and this series, and he is well known for his plot twists. This definitely remains true with Psychopaths. Psychopaths is like the Minority Report of anime. In the near future, it is possible to simultaneously measure and give a number to a person's mental state, called the psychopaths. In this way, crimes are able to be prevented before they are committed. If your psychopath is above a certain level, you are deemed a latent criminal and arrested or sometimes killed. The series follows the police officers in charge of maintaining order in this society. What series could better encapsulate the psychological genre than a series that delves into the mental states of its characters? This series answers many questions like, what are the moral implications of arresting or even killing someone before they've committed a crime? And how do law officers who bear witness to the dregs of society keep their psychopaths from becoming tainted? The first season of Psychopaths is 22 episodes long and available on Funimation and Hulu. Perhaps no series captures the essence of the psychological genre as does Serial Experiments Lain. Serial Experiments Lain follows Lein Iwakura, who is introduced to The Wire, which is a cyberspace/internet. The Wired is a virtual reality world where people can connect to each other subconsciously without the use of a physical interface. Throughout the series, the line between what is real and what is virtual reality becomes blurred. I cannot recommend this series enough for fans of this genre. Our world is constantly evolving and becoming more technologically driven. It's only natural to wonder what these changes will have on our society, and
Lain was asking those questions back in 1998.
One thing to keep in mind is that this series is very abstract and full of symbolism. I've seen it 3 times, but I still haven't grasped everything Lain is trying to say. Serial Experiments Lain is 13 episodes long and is available for streaming on both Funimation and Hulu. The next anime on the list is also the first film, and it's one of the most influential anime to ever be created, Akira. The city is Neo-Tokyo, built over the old Tokyo which was destroyed in World War III. Terrorism and gang violence run rampant. Kaneda is the leader of a motorcycle gang, but when one of his friends, Tetsuo, is almost killed by an Esper, Kaneda is pulled into a deeply covert revolutionary movement. Although being made in 1988, Akira's production values are so high they still stand up today. It is considered by many to be one of the best anime and sci-fi films ever to be created. No series paints the canvas of a dystopian society quite like Akira. Well, except maybe this next one.
Akira is available for streaming on Funimation.
Next up is Ghost in the Shell, which follows members of Public Security Section 9, a special unit task force who are in charge of investigating incidents of cyber terrorism. This franchise is set in a world where members of society possess cybernetic brains and body parts which hackers can infiltrate. Ghost in the Shell is just as iconic as Akira. I've always found the world that Ghost in the Shell is built in to be fascinating. Imagine if a hacker could plant false memories into your mind, and then those false memories would motivate you to commit crimes. Issues such as these are tackled in Ghost in the Shell. The best way to enter this franchise is through the original movie, which can be streamed on Hulu. This next genre is perfect for you if you want to see blood and carnage. These series are definitely not for little kids, and viewer discretion is advised. I need to get this one out of the way first, because even though I'm sure a majority of anime fans have seen it, it still deserves to be on this list, and that's Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan follows Eren Yeager, Mikasa Ackerman, and Armin Arlott, who live in a world where humans live behind giant walls that protect them from giant humanoid creatures called Titans. At the onset of the series, the humans have lived in safety for 100 years, but a new type of Titan, the Colossal Titan, appears who breaches the wall, allowing Titans to spill inside. The three kids barely survive, and vow to do whatever it takes to destroy the Titans, once and for all. Attack on Titan is one of the most successful and mainstream anime to come out in the past 5 years. It's easy to see why with its excellent visuals, gripping story, and intense action. And when it comes to gruesomeness, this anime gets top marks. I mean, come on, in the first episode, Eren is forced to see his mother be devoured by a Titan. The first season of Attack on Titan is 25 episodes long. It can be streamed subbed on Funimation, Crunchyroll, Hulu, and Netflix. It can be streamed dubbed on Funimation. Next up is Higurashi no Naku Koro ni, or When They Cry in English. Higurashi follows Keiichi, who moves to a small rural village named Hinamizawa in June 1983. The village seems peaceful enough, except for the fact that for the past 4 years, on the day after the annual Watanagashi festival, one person is murdered and one goes missing. Keiichi finds himself drawn into these strange events. If you take a quick glance at this series, you may have a misconception that it's a moe slice of life series. You may be asking, how is this anime one of the best violent series out there? Well, this anime isn't what it seems to be on the surface. Don't believe me? How about I show you this scene where Rika intentionally impales her head on a kitchen knife? Or this scene where Shion is forced by her own family to pluck off 3 of her fingernails. This one definitely is not for the faint of heart. As a side note, Higurashi is made up of 2 seasons. The first season, which is 26 episodes long, considered the Questions arc, introduces the mysteries of Higurashi. The second season, which is 24 episodes long, answers those questions. You really need to watch both seasons to fully enjoy and understand this series. The first season can be streamed on Hulu. Unfortunately, at the time of this video's creation, the second season is not available on any of the legal streaming sites. Next is Elfen Lied, an anime that focuses on Diclonius, a newly mutated species of humans. Diclonius are similar in appearance to humans except for their horn-like protrusions on their forehead. They also have invisible telekinetic arms called vectors. The main Diclonius of the series is Lucy, who was initially held at a secret facility. She escapes and hits her head, causing her to develop a split personality. 2 locals find her and take her in. Because of her hitting her head, she frequently shifts between a childlike personality and a murderous one. Elfen Lied, as with Higurashi, could be mistaken as a slice of life from first glance. However, within seconds of the anime starting, you will see people being ripped to shreds. Definitely not slice of life material. I'll be honest, Elfen Lied's plot isn't the best, but in terms of blood and gore, there are few better. Elfen Lied is 13 episodes long and can be streamed on Hulu. The final series in this genre, and my favorite, is Berserk. Berserk is a medieval Europe-inspired dark fantasy following the exploits of a lone mercenary and Griffith, the leader of the Band of the Hawks. Guts joins the Band of the Hawks after being inspired by Griffith. The first arc follows the Band of the Hawks' rise to prominence. As of the creation of this video, only the first arc of the manga has been adapted into an anime, called the Golden Age arc. Later on in the manga, Guts is forced to fight numerous grotesque demons, called apostles, in his attempt to stay alive. Themes of isolation, camaraderie, and good versus evil are interwoven into the brilliant tapestry of Berserk. A new anime project is planned for July 2016. This will continue to adapt the Berserk manga. The Golden Age arc is available in a TV series that was released in the 90s and a film trilogy that came out a couple years ago. I would suggest checking out the film trilogy if you are interested in checking this series out. A lot of people would disagree with me because CGI was used, but I thought the movies were done pretty well, although some events were cut out from the original source material. The first film is available for streaming on Hulu.